my channel, Kempner Canucks. My name is RevTrev, and I'm glad you're here because today we're going to be diving in to Canucks contract predictions. My Canucks contract predictions. Now, 2023 is over. Last year's season was a debacle, was terrible. But man, the changes we have seen, and now this new season of 23-24 has started off so well. And so happy new year to everyone. I want to dive into 2024 predictions. Okay. Now, if you would have told me that this team was going to be this good after the first 36 games, I wouldn't have believed you. Now, I was the guy who predicted that the Canucks would make the playoffs. But this team's second in the entire NHL. If you would have even said to me, Trevor, by Christmas or by New Year's, actually, by New Year's, we would be second in the division, I would have been happy with that. But we're second in the NHL. It is absolutely blowing my mind how good this team has been. But in the back of everyone's minds, especially Canucks fans' minds, is not only the playoffs. And I know we've got a long ways to get there, but I'm pretty sure we're going to make the playoffs. Like, I'm convinced we're going to, we can't be playing like this and not make the playoffs, okay? But there's something in our back of our minds is the offseason, the trade deadline and the offseason that's coming up, especially with the UFAs and especially our RFAs, okay? So the restricted free agents and those contracts. And we want to keep this team together because we want to see if this chemistry can continue and that we can be potential contenders and to win Stanley Cups. Like, that is the goal here. We want to win championships, not just be able to buy a plastic one from the store and have our hope, but to actually win cups. And so if we're there and we see this, and that's the goal in our minds, that we need to think about these contracts. Now, hopefully this season we can make noise. If we want to cup this year, it would be awesome. I'm not sure we're going to get there yet. I don't know if we're there yet, but we are going to find out. And so, anyways, now I want to dive into these contracts. But if you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, please do, because I love making Canucks content that is realistic and passionate and honest. And if you like that kind of content, please hit the like and subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so I'd love your support. Okay, so let's dive into these big and small contracts that do matter. Now, I'm going to make these contract predictions. Some of these predictions you are going to love, and others you might scratch your head on, say, I disagree, or you might just come out and disagree, right? You might be like, I don't get how you're getting it. I'm going to explain my predictions and my reasoning, okay? So let's talk about the biggest contract definitely that everyone's interested in, and it's Elias Pettersson. Now, he has just turned 25 years old, and his last deal was a bridge extension for $7.35 million, and he's that unrestricted free agent that everyone wants to know. When is he going to sign? How much is he going to sign for? Now, I know there are people that think that we should just open the bank and give EP40 whatever he wants. But can I just be honest with you? That's just bad business. It's bad business. It's bad team management. The team can't afford to lose him, but we can't afford to re-sign him for like Austin Matthews money of $13 million a year. Let's just say he gets $13 million times 8, okay? You will lose a bunch of players if that happens. A lot of these players we were talking about, we will not be able to afford, and we can't go forward. We'll have to replace them with AHL prospects, with some rookies, and maybe it can work, but I don't know if that's you're gonna have way too many holes in a lineup to contend. You're gonna have a lot of Noah Jolsons, Will Lannons, PDGs, Almonds playing significant minutes instead of having some veterans play those minutes. Hirose, those kind of guys. And I don't know if you can win those. Like look at the Oilers, for example. You can't afford to have everyone make crazy money. McDavid, rightly so, makes killer cash. And he should make the highest in the league. But they have huge holes on their team. And you wait until Draisaitl contract comes up. He's only making $8.5 million, and if you got to sign him to 12 or 13 as well, that team's going to get worse and not going to get better. They need some cheap contracts, players who play above their contracts. Now, I'm okay when it comes to Pettersson that if we continue to wait. Just to wait and see if Pettersson continues to play at an elite level, okay? Yes, last year he looked elite and he got 102 points. That was the most of his career by a landslide. I think the highest before that was either 77 or 78, you know? And so, but this year, if we're honest, he's got the points, but he also has gone on a major slump and he doesn't look like the same guy. He doesn't always look elite. Like some nights he does, but not every night. And he's not even the best player on the team. I would say that's Quinn Hughes has been our MVP this year. And I wouldn't even say that Pettersson has been our best forward. I would give that to JT Miller. Because he's not driving the line and leading that line like he needs to, right? And he's not shooting the puck. There's something off about Pettersson, and I'm not sure if it's a contract. I don't know if he's been injured. I don't know. All I know is he doesn't look the same, but his points look good. But he does play well defensively. He does draw penalties, and he does have elite skills. And so I'm concerned, though, about opening up the bank and that he doesn't play at an elite level once he gets paid. Now, Canucks fans hate that. They hate players who underperform to their high contracts. Let's go all the way back to Mark Messier, making back in the day $6 million, which is a lot of money, and he scored 35 points. You've got Louis Eriksson, who had 30 goals with Boston, comes into Vancouver, the next season gets 11 with Vancouver, makes $6 million. It was a healthy scratch because he was so terrible as a Vancouver Canuck. You've got OEL, who made massive money. We traded for him. We didn't sign him for that. Then we had to buy him out. It was terrible, right? Then you've got Tyler Myers, $6 million times 6 years, right? Does not produce the way that we were hoping. These players are disliked because of the big contracts and didn't produce, and I'm worried about that for Pettersson. Now, that's a long conversation to get to my prediction, okay? Pettersson re-signs with the Vancouver Canucks for $11.5 million times 4 years. Now, I'm okay even if they went 12 times 8 or 4 times 4 years. I'm cool with that. I don't think that's going to happen. Now, some of you are going, Trevor, you're out to lunch. He's going to get 12 plus. I think he's getting 11.5 because the comp is Pasternak. Pasternak is just a couple of years older and has had better production than Pettersson. In fact, last year, Pasternak got 113 points. I think he had 61 goals, okay? He makes $11.2 million a season. 1 year, Pasternak only played, I think he played 80 games, scored 95 points. Like, this is the comparison, and that's why I'm going to land at 11.5 million, and I think we have to land there in order to sign other players. Now, the second RFA is Filip Hronek. He's a valuable right-handed shot defenseman who's 26 years old, making $4.4 million right now. And then you've got guys going on, like, for example, Frank Seravalli, that's gone on and saying that he deserves $8 to $9 million a year, and I don't really know why. Now, I get that he's playing 24 minutes plus a night. He's averaging 24 minutes a night. He's got 29 points in 36 games. He's going to end up with over 40 points this season. He's going to have career highs this year, okay? But isn't that because he's playing with Quinn Hughes? Like, let's be honest, right? If he goes somewhere else, he's not playing with a guy like Quinn Hughes. And I'm unsure why Frank would suggest that he deserves $8 to $9 million, because with his stats, he actually doesn't blow you away with that much. I mean, he's okay with block shots. He's okay with hits. He doesn't really score. He's only got 2 goals this entire season. We've been on fire as a team. He's got 2 goals. He's never scored more than 9 goals in a year. And I know it's not all about points, But I think he plays well. So I do think he needs to be paid, but I can't see him getting paid more than Captain Quinn Hughes, right? That just makes no sense. And if you want to get Quinn ticked off, then pay Hronek 8 to 9 million. But my prediction is that Hronek's going to re-sign with the Vancouver Canucks for 6.6 million for 3 to 5 years. Okay? These two contracts are crucial because they determine what we do with the rest of the team, the rest of the UFAs going forward. So that's why I'm keeping those ones a little lower and not so high, so that we can sign these guys back. Okay, Dakota Joshua, right? He's 27 years old, and he's the UFA making $825,000 a year, and I believe that he gets a raise. Now, he's a third-line left winger who has incredible chemistry with Bluegar and Garland, and he's already close to having career numbers, and he's only partway through the season. Yet, we need to remember that Rick Tocchet loves Dakota Joshua. He loves his style of play. This is a playoff type kind of guy. He already has 108 hits this season, and we're only at 36 games. So I'm unsure what he's going to ask for or what he should expect, but I would offer him $2.5 million for 3 to 4 years and see if he would take that. Okay? Now, I mean, he's a third liner, right? He's not top two lines, right? Now let's talk about Nikita Zadorov, okay? Or should I say Drago? He was a fan favorite in Calgary, and I think the Canucks are liking what they are seeing. Now, he came to us as a rental price tag, and I'm still in shock how little we had to give up to get him. And Nikita is 28 years old, but he's known throughout the league as a third pairing defenseman. But if you can't find size and skill like this. So this is the best situation for the Canucks. We got him early. It wasn't a trade deadline rental situation. He got the whole season for Zadorov to prove that he belongs on this team and he should get paid. Now the rumors are that he wants $5 million a year times 5 years, and currently he's making $3.75 million and is a UFA. One of the reasons why I didn't want to play in Calgary is because they wouldn't offer him a contract. I mean, he would have stayed there, but they didn't offer him a contract, right? Now, if he doesn't get the right numbers and the right money, I believe that Zadorov is going to walk, but he's playing on the second pairing with Tyler Myers, and they seem to be playing well together. I've been surprised how well they've gelled. And so, but he rarely scores. His career highs in points are 22. He rarely scores goals, getting around 7 a year. And that was last season in 2022 and 23. He scored 14 goals with Calgary. And I thought, as watching Zadorov in these short few games, I thought he would hit more than he does. He averages 180 hits over the last few years, which is surprisingly low considering his size and skill. And with Colorado, he had two monster years where he had hits in their seasons at 228 and 278. But he doesn't block a lot of shots either. And the Canucks are in no need to rush to make a deal happen. And I would wait until after the playoffs to determine whether or not I'd want to keep him or let him walk. So if I were the Canucks, I'd offer him something under $5 million and see if he wants to play on a playoff team or if he wants to play with more of a team that might not make the playoffs. Maybe the Coyotes or the Chicago Blackhawks or some team that's kind of on the rise that will give him the money. But he might not produce well with more minutes. He might be producing great in a role like he has with us on a second line. So what I would do is I would offer him $4.25 million for 4 years and see if that can get it done. Personally, I hope we do keep him, but it all depends on the price tag and it all depends on how close, how good he plays for us down the stretch and in the playoffs. Okay, the next one is Tyler Myers. Yes, you heard me say that right. Now, he's known in our fan base as Chaos Giraffe, right? I believe the Canucks are going to offer Tyler Myers a contract for next season. Rick Tocchet, you need to remind yourself this. He actually likes Tyler Myers. He's averaging 19 minutes a game. He's the third highest, especially in the last month. He's been the third highest Canuck defenseman behind Hronek and Hughes for time on the ice. Zadorov is playing less than Myers every single night. He also is a right-handed shot defenseman, where Zadorov is a left-handed shot defenseman. And Tocchet loves putting D in their natural positions. Tyler Myers lives in Kelowna, and I believe that he wants to come back with the Canucks. So I think we're going to pay him $2.5 million, maybe a max of $3 million, probably 2.5. And I believe they're going to offer him a 1-year, maybe 2-year contract. Soucy's on a 3-year, $3 million contract, but Soucy is also a left-handed defenseman. So interesting to see what we do with Soucy when he comes back, if he replaces some of these guys in those positions. Now let's talk about Ian Cole, another RFA. Now I don't think we bring Ian Cole back, even though he's on a decent contract. He's making $3 million for this season. He's playing bottom pairing defenseman minutes. He's a left-handed shot defenseman. We have a bunch of players that can replace him. He's played 14 years in the NHL. He's got playoff experience, but he's 34 years of age. Did you know that in 2007, Cole was a first-round 18th overall selection for the St. Louis Blues? I think we just got him for this year to fill a gap, to play good minutes. I don't think we're bringing him back. I don't think we're even going to offer him a contract. And I mean, we might, depending on if Zadorov walks, if Myers walks, and then we might have to bring him back. Now let's talk about Sam Lafferty. I just have 2 more left to talk about. Sam Lafferty, 28 years old, and we've seen that he can be effective. He's a third line or fourth line player who can play all 3 positions, forward positions, and I believe that we will bring him back, especially if he's effective in the playoffs, scoring some goals in the playoffs. He's making $1.15 million, and we either get him for, I would say, $1.5 million for 2 to 3 years, or he walks going to the highest bidder. So I mean, it is an increase, 1.15 to 1.5 million. Now the last player and the last UFA I want to talk about is Teddy Bluegar. Many thought that Teddy Bluegar was going to be a 4th line center for us. And with the Suter injury, he's been playing on the 3rd line and not on the 4th line at all. He's been having that great chemistry with Dakota and with Connor Garland. Now, we know that Suter has been playing on the 4th line since coming back and on the 1st line. And so Teddy makes $1.9 million right now. And I believe that Canucks would like to see him back. But for what price? He's 29 years old and kind of he's the playoff kind of guy. He's won a cup with Vegas. So I think that they want him back. And my prediction is if he continues to play effectively for the Canucks, they're going to offer him $2.2 million for the next 3 seasons. Now, this is a very long video to share my predictions. Of course, I want to hear what you have to say. Post in the comments what you think are going to be the contracts, if we're going to sign, who we're going to sign back, who we're not going to sign back. And we got to start making room for some of the younger guys too. I think Elias Pettersson from Sweden, Lettermäki, is another guy that we need to consider getting into our lineup sooner than later as well. But it's going to be interesting to see what the Canucks do. So these are my 2024 Canucks contract predictions. Hope you liked it. And of course, always hit that like and subscribe, and go Canucks, go.